Women are sick all the time, they're just too sensitive. I'm sharing this story on behalf of my roommate. Let's call her Marie. Just for context. This is in Germany and we're both 24 years old. Marie has been working for this startup business for about 2 years. They're the typical toxic, we're all a family here, business. Now, the problem is that Marie is a very loyal employee and a hard worker, who is quite susceptible to the notion that nobody else can do her job and that it's her responsibility to keep the business running, no matter how. Last summer was the first time in over 3 years she took a week off and went on holiday. She had worked at a similarly exploitative tech startup before as well. And you can tell that she's completely burnt out. We've been trying to get her to prioritize her mental health, but to no avail. Among other things, she suffers from chronic back pain, IBS and insomnia. However, she usually doesn't take sick days when she's not well but tries to get as much work done as possible and will do whatever she didn't finish the next day. She works from home. For the longest time her responsibilities were social media management, planning the delivery routes and doing the customer support. When her boss finally hired someone to take over one of these areas, after she had been begging him for months, they asked her which area she'd like to take over in the future. She said, anything but customer relations. So of course they put her in customer relations. I think that was her tipping point. And the day she really stopped caring. She's been looking for a new job since then. But because she only has a bachelor's degree and with few companies hiring due to COVID, she hasn't been able to find anything yet. A few weeks later her health problems were flaring up. So she took a sick day for the very first time. Coincidentally, that same day, a colleague of hers was sick as well. She was at the company's warehouse, went outside to throw up, and kept working afterwards. In the next Zoom meeting, her boss then went on to say, yeah, that's just what working with women is like, they're always sick. They're just too sensitive. And no, he was not joking. So Marie went and got a slip for 2 weeks of sick leave from her doctor the next day. Honestly, she has so many stress-related health issues that she could probably take the rest of the year off, if she wanted to. Her boss is apparently freaking out. Didn't wish her a speedy recovery or anything and just told her to come back as soon as possible. So you bet she's taking at least these 2 weeks. There is quite literally nobody there to do her job, because her boss refused to hire anyone and was just counting on her being too loyal. Marie's co-workers are all looking for new jobs too and have told her that it's been pure chaos. Sounds like her boss is just a little too sensitive. Isn't vacation essentially legally required? I worked for a European software company and was yelled at for not taking enough time off. Show her this thread after the good people of Reddit weigh in on what a fuckstick her boss is. Edit. Wow. So much comments from my people. Thanks for the awards. I was hoping the story ended with her quitting. Tell her to get out now while she can. She has cause for a lawsuit with that sexist comment too. Her boss doesn't appreciate or respect her and she needs to find a new job. Chances are when she returns he will yell, threaten to fire her, but this will come from a place of fear. Deep down he now knows she is central to his business. Without her his business is in trouble, but instead of supporting her and giving her time off, which he probably takes whenever he wants, he uses her and takes advantage. Marie is a hard worker and probably doesn't speak up for herself enough. She has more power than she realizes, and Marie will get a new job. If she ends up quitting, please give us an update. Only has a bachelor's degree, what a world. Update the resume, CV and get out. It's a sinking ship. I know you said she's looking for a job in her field with her bachelor's degree, but in the meantime, why doesn't she apply literally anywhere else? Even in the retail and food service industries. As long as it pays a living wage? Either way, I hope she finds a job soon and gets to leave that place. Show her our anti-work. I have seen too many companies not giving a fuck when the employee dies. In Germany, that whole "we are family here" always makes me chuckle. I usually reply with, "You know I moved 3,000 plus miles from my nearest relatives on purpose?" Quote. I hope she gets another doctor's note saying that she needs at least a month more off. Some employers are just asses. I am sick probably about 3 days a year. More before COVID. Because terrible seating. And parents that are disease carriers. Anyway. Trying to say not a lot of sick time. Had an employer in the past that knew I don't get sick often or take advantage of it, but required me to use PTO if I wanted to go work from home. Even though I was vomiting and feeling terrible. So fuck it. I stayed at work whenever I was sick. You wanna smell vomit? I'll carry my trash can vomit bucket around with me. And keep going in you office. Asking you questions. I hope she goes for that entire legally protected year off. Hope it's a paid year off too. And that she goes back to school during that paid year off. Comes back. Then leaves for a much better job. I am at an actual, like family, type of company. And it's sad to say with viewed in this sub as toxic. The shit exists out there. But it's more of a case of if they call themselves a nice guy. Odds they are anything but. Please remind her that by German law, her boss is not even allowed to contact her, ask her anything about her health, ask her to come back to work, etc., while she's written off by the doctor. He is also not allowed to fire her during this time. If she would show up at work early, and something would happen to her, her insurance would not cover it. Just for context, this is in Germany and we're both 24 years old. Among other things, she suffers from chronic back pain, IBS and insomnia. These two should never, ever be on the same description unless something is really wrong. Good for her that she finally realized her health is priority number one. Tech startups are rife with toxic bro culture. Quit now. The job market in Netherlands is really good if you're searching for something. And Dutch is basically funny German. So, tears of joy. WTF. Please tell me both of her parents are dead because I will not believe that her parents didn't teach her how to behave. You do not take your holidays, vacation. That's a crime to humanity and fellow humans. Also, you do not work when you are ill. That's a real crime. Edit. In Germany. Actually. Good that you push her to quit and get a new job. I hope you have some positive update for us soon. Veel erfolg und Marie soll sich ma schon krankschreiben lassen. Jeder vernünftig Arzt wird sie in der Situation locker Mary waschen krank schreiben.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.